Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Reigning and Defending. Uh, it's been a while. It's been a minute. Whether it's the normal bye week or the sudden change of schedule, personally for us at the Scaldstone, and also me personally being okay with extending my uh, dismissal to come back a week later so I can do a few things that are going pretty according to schedule. Those things are obviously what you read on the title of the video, maybe in the thumbnail if I feel like making a freaking thumbnail. With that said, yes, we are reviewing WrestleMania. Would have been nice to get one of my friends like Marcellus or Mason in on it to really talk about WrestleMania, but I guess we're doing a solo review. But yeah, in other news, I'll first address women's basketball. March Madness has come to an end. Let's see. Today is Tuesday, April 4th, 10:12 p.m. And we've had a very busy weekend on top of WrestleMania. We finished both NCAA basketball tournaments, and being an LSU fan and living in Iowa all your life, the women's final has become very significant lately, especially on Facebook, especially on any local news sports related thing. For me, it was really one of those things where I wish both teams would have won. Going in it, I was wishing both teams could win, but we all know in the beauty of sport, in the beauty of competition, that is simply not a thing. Ties are definitely not a thing in playoffs. And I was gonna be happy either way. Kind of feel bad for the other team that would lose. My cat likes to jump back and forth from tables, so if you're watching, that's what happened. Anyways, but yeah, I do feel bad for Iowa on a level. Caitlin Clark, I feel like, is no doubt the best women's college basketball player in the nation. It's kind of weird because like I've been so vocal lately, especially at school, because I'm writing a paper on it about women's basketball. And it's really starting to seem like there's really a turnaround for the popularity of women's basketball. Because at least maybe I'm coming from a biased area, but I feel like the women's NCAA tournament near the end has been more talked about than the men's. There might be some people listening to this and have no clue that UConn just won the NCAA tournament for the men's basketball playoff tournament. Oh my goodness, this cat is messing with absolutely everything. I'm sorry. I try to kick her out, but then she jumps through the ceiling every time. I need to get like, I don't know what I need to get. Insulation. But anyways, yeah. Women's basketball, more and more of a hot topic, and as I finish revising and editing my paper, maybe the WNBA will be a readable article on thescaldstone.com. But that's really all the news that's sports related that I really care to talk about. Nothing really crazy in the NFL right now. The Golden Knights recently clinched their playoff berth. Now they're really just playing for seeding. That's really fun. That's really good to hear. St. Louis Blues have been officially eliminated from the playoffs. Screw you, Dustin. And that's as far as we know for hockey. And obviously, opening day for the MLB recently happened this past week as well. So that's all the really sports news that I have to say. Go Tigers. Really happy for my LSU ladies. Stop it with the Angel Reese hate. As Charles Barkley always said, I'm not a role model. Don't take me as a role model. Okay? Most of the people are just unhappy that Iowa lost. I'm not going to even lie. Like, as a person who used to write sports articles, I've dealt with really sour Iowa fans. Like, really sour Iowa fans. It's never people from the freaking university. It's people who, are blue collar, 60s, 50s, 40s, super angry about the result of things or the opinion of things. The Hawkeye fan base is a passionate one. You can align yourself with what is class and what is not class. Trash talk is part of the sport. Trash talk is part of any sport. Okay? This isn't even a freaking basketball thing. This is good trash talk. As for the middle finger picture, I don't know who that was directed to. We've all flipped a bird once or twice. It's up to the media to make that a big deal. Because I sure would have never seen it if I wasn't on Facebook. Anyways, congratulations to Angel Reese and the gang. Caitlin Clark, maybe you can try again next year because you are by far the best player in the nation. Angel Reese probably easily top 5 in the nation. Maybe even top 2 in the nation. With that, moving on to WrestleMania, a good 7.5 minutes later. It was a fun one. And it was also a mixed feelings one. Let me explain. WrestleMania, night 1, eons better than night 2, believe it or not. It's kind of funny because, with the way it's set up, night 2 is supposed to be bigger and better and, something that begs you to stick around. And I'll be honest, my buddy Marcellus, he said that the ratings for night 1 was 4.5 out of 5. The ratings for night 2 was 2.5 out of 5. That's a problem. And pushing main events aside, if you know how both main events ended, pushing main events aside, it still stands. Okay, there's no bias on who we wanted to win in the end regarding the entertainment of those matches. But let me just go one by one with these matches, starting with day 1. Because day 1, I loved day 1 probably from start to finish. Let me get right into the showcases real quick, which is the tag team fatal 4-ways for the men's and women's. Didn't really care for either of them. For when it comes to me and my viewership, unless it's the Rumble, unless it's a ladder match, the more people you add, the more I'm trying to focus on all the action, and then I get none of the action. And then I just see like, oh, there's a bunch of crap that happened. And then boom, someone wins at the end. So I wasn't really anticipating either of those matches. With that said, the only thing I have to say, Street Profits won, the men's one, and Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey won the females, the women's showcase. The only comment I have to say is how impressive it was that Dawkins trucked Braun Strowman when he was on his freaking choo-choo train fiasco. That was really impressive. That's shout out to him. That was like the one moment where I thought that was exciting. With that said, I'll move on. Got those out of the way. Let's get on to these other matches. Starting WrestleMania, opening up the weekend, was John Cena versus Austin Theory. Nothing crazy in this match. Just a really good 10-minute run. Run-of-the-mill match. When it comes to people in my age group, you're not surprised that John Cena lost, because John Cena, he's really just been showing up to put people over. His last win was a tag team match with Kevin Owens last year, and that was just to make Kevin Owens seem as a legitimate problem for the bloodline. And so, yeah, you hate to see a loss for John Cena, but I get it. We're trying to legitimize Austin Theory. We're trying to legitimize the champion behind the belt of the United States Championship. So, yeah. That's how the first match goes. John Cena is gone for the rest of the weekend, unfortunately. Shout out to Austin Theory for winning him some. Really, really, really wonder how he's going to... Is he going to hit the ground running? Is he at least going to maintain some traction? I don't know. I don't know how likable he is. I trust him when it comes to the future. I really do. But he is not over in any of the word. In any sense of the word. Really hateable, which, it means that's a good thing for a bad guy, for a heel. But this feels like a different kind of hate, Moving on to the Seth freaking Rollins versus Logan Paul match. This one was my personal main event of the weekend. Seth freaking Rollins. Let's go. Seth freaking Rollins. My faves. Oh, my goodness. First, let's talk about the get-up he came up in. And let's talk about the orchestrator. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather still. For those who are still aware, who are aware. But that was so cool. Because, yes, they did have an audio bite for the because I think that was a genius move. Because I've been to not one, but 2 Raw events during Seth Rollins' current gimmick and current theme music. Nobody does it on time. There's a good half of us, and then there's these tone-deaf people, and then there's these people with terrible timing. Okay, so it was really good to have this overpowering... At first, I thought it was a live orchestra. I thought that would have been sick. Okay? Bray Wyatt has done a live band for his entrance. Why can't we get more live performances like that? That would be so sick. With that said, still an amazing entrance. Seth Rollins keeping it as ridiculous as he can with his get-up, had a super poofy red reflection coat, had like this BDSM pink outfit underneath, and yeah, it was just completely silly, as he usually is silly. Probably my favorite match of the weekend. Yeah, I think I can confidently say that my favorite match of the weekend. I liked it so much that I rewatched it the next day when I was waiting for WrestleMania Day 2. It was just that good because not only do I like Seth Rollins, but I like Logan Paul. I just didn't like Logan Paul when he was messing with Seth Rollins. Like that's kind of like the hierarchy. Like Logan Paul, he's not directly beneath Seth Rollins, but like I like Logan Paul if he's messing with the right guy, you know, even when he's a bad guy. I like Logan Paul if he's feuding with like The Miz or like I don't know, someone random like Mustafa Ali or something. I don't know. I mean, he would never wrestle Mustafa Ali because, you know, Logan. It's my girlfriend. You come give me a kiss. You want to be on camera?
No, I do not.
Hold on a second. I love you. Mwah. Drive safe.
Or not. Love you.
Love you too. I said I love you. Okay. Bye. Sorry, guys. I told my girlfriend to feel free to interrupt this episode because she works overnight and she's leaving and I won't be able to see her until Friday. So, yeah. There was that. Anyways, let's see. Logan Paul, great wrestler. Honestly, great wrestler. He helped elevate that match. Honestly, it was so creative to just do this entire thing with the KSI Prime mascot thing. That dive was so funny. Very well timed. Shows how professional Seth Rollins is. Shows how naturally gifted Logan Paul is. Shows how great of a sport KSI is. And yeah, it was just beautiful. It was beautiful. The ending was great. You know, you do a stomp, you do a pedigree, you do these things, and then you get the win for Seth Rollins. It was so beautiful because, like, it was one of those matches where you really didn't know who was going to win because it's like, oh, are they going to let Logan Paul win this one because Seth Rollins, he's not holding a belt or anything. So, you know, will he win this one? And they didn't. They didn't give it to him. Even though it was Logan Paul's birthday. I'm glad that Logan Paul wasn't like, hey, I want to win this. Because it was for nothing. So, like, you know, I feel like those matches that are for nothing and also, you know, storybook closing. And it was like a mid-card story. Even though it was a really good mid-card story, it really didn't matter who won in the end. But if you do want to legitimize Seth Rollins for future runs, because it looks like people are running out of options for the championship scene, you're going to want to have Seth Rollins win that one. So, yeah, super happy about that one. I love that one so much. Maybe I'll even watch it again. I've watched it 2.5 times as we speak right now. Reason why I say half is because there was one time where I just really went back and watched my favorite parts. But it was really a good match. It got a 4.5 out of 5 rating. That's all that needs to be said. The next match was Rey Mysterio versus his son Dominic. What really stood out for this match was the entrances. Even though Dominic's entrance did not make a lick of sense except for this fact that he did hard time. The reason why I say it does not make any sense is because he went to jail and came back. Not necessary for him to like show up in a van, in a police van, and then be escorted by 4 policemen, you know. So when it comes to continuity, makes no sense. When it comes to having a WrestleMania entrance, for the love of the game, it's really fun stuff. And then for Rey Mysterio to top that oh so easily by showing up in a lowrider Eddie Guerrero style with Snoop Dogg driving it. Dude, that's like a perfect package for like 90s fans, people that were a product of the 90s. Like, that is just so perfect. Like, people who actually watched Eddie Guerrero grow up, or no, not grow up, wrestle, watched him growing up, you know. I unfortunately was just a little bit too young, only a little bit, because he was in the video games that I played. With that said, I played the video games before I actually started watching weekly. I was only 5 years old. So, yeah. Rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero. But when Rey Mysterio came around the corner in that lowrider, hanging out the side, and he was just doing the Eddie Guerrero shoulder shimmy, bro. Viva la raza. That was really cool. That was really fun. And, yeah. We got to speed this up because we're 14 minutes in. So, in short, Rey Mysterio whipped his son's ass. The Judgment Day got involved. Del Fantasma got involved. Near the end, Dominic tried to cheat. Bad Bunny didn't let him cheat. Rey Mysterio got a 619 on him. 1, 2, 3, that's the pin. Rey Mysterio, if you choose to retire now, what a wonderful ending. Next match. Oh no, there was a match in between those 2 last matches, and it was the 6-woman tag team match between Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus versus the Damage Control. Now, I was expecting Damage Control to win because, like, for some reason, this match wasn't for the tag team titles. This was just a grudge match. This was just, I don't like you, you don't like me kind of thing. And, I mean, it happened. The reason why I don't have a lot of feelings behind it is because, like, I don't think there was any memorable moments. I mean, I'm glad Becky Lynch won. I'm really glad Becky Lynch won. But, like, there was no heel turn or betrayal or anything like that. We were really just expecting more out of this. But as a big Seth Rollins fan, in a vacuum, just a really big Becky Lynch fan, I'm glad she won. Didn't really expect it. Was expecting a little bit more. That's not why it was bad. It wasn't bad at all. It's just it will be forever in the shadow of this next match, which was the Charlotte Flair Rhea Ripley match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This match got a 5 out of 5 star rating, and with good reason. This match also doesn't have too many memorable moments just because the level wasn't here. It wasn't down low. It wasn't a mid-level. Every second of this match was high level. It was intense. It was gritty. It was scary. It made you go, ooh, ouch. Okay? It was an Iron Man match without the rules of being an Iron Man match. This had to be at least a 20-minute match, 25-minute match. This, props to both women as athletes, both women as wrestlers, both women as icons as females in the business. This should be the new standard for women's championship matches. This was amazing. It was great. For Charlotte Flair to take such bumps straight to the face, and for Rhea Ripley to take straight bumps straight to the neck on some of these high intensity matches. There was this one where they flipped off the corner ropes, and oh my goodness, it did not land well for either of them, but it was sick. It was sick. It was straight impressive. And then Rhea Ripley won as everybody wanted her to. And so it was a perfect bow on the end of the match as well. And it also really kept, it was another match that kept you guessing, because there was a pin attempt after pin attempt after pin attempt after pin attempt. Big move, big move, big move, big move. It was insane. Both women deserve everything for that match. Charlotte Flair, she can go take another vacation, while Rhea Ripley gets prepared for the biggest push of her career. This was amazing. Not many matches can follow a match like that was, and it matched it. The tag team match between the Usos and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the undisputed titles. Okay, we're talking about 4 titles up for grabs here. When it comes to story, if this match did not have this story behind it that it did, it would not be a great follow-up for that women's match. But when it comes to like a year plus of build-up, at least 6 months worth of build-up, when it comes to like the Sami Zayn situation, but when it comes to the Kevin Owens situation, we're talking about over a year of build-up. It was great. That's all I can say. It was a fever dream, man. The 3 haluva kicks at the very end, the super kicks that were like everywhere. Those were 4 professionals guiding each other, ad-libbing each other, helping each other work, and they did it so well. They have such great chemistry together. It was a good storybook ending for at least that part of the tribe, because the head of the table is still reigning. But that was day 1. Day 1 was as perfect as it could get. Half-star difference. It was damn good. Day one of WrestleMania 39. Probably one of the best WrestleMania days in the history of WrestleMania. Not gonna lie. Not to overreact. They had to figure out how to top Kevin Owens versus Stone Cold. And they really did. And they didn't need a legend to come back. I mean, they had Lita and Trish. Those are legends. But come on, it's Stone Cold. It's Stone Cold. With that said, night 2 of WrestleMania could have been better. It really could have been better. Let's start with the Brock Lesnar versus Omos match. My goodness. Okay, let me be really honest here. Nothing really wow, Brock Lesnar versus Omos. That happened. Brock Lesnar won. Ooh, who would have ever guessed? Bianca Belair versus Asuka. People were saying the worst build-up. The worst build-up to a championship match. Much less... let alone a WrestleMania match. Sorry, this cat keeps messing with me. Get away. Get out. Get out of here. Go. Bianca Belair versus Asuka should have gotten more build-up. It just really should have. It's the perfect example. Hey, stop messing with my camera. Go. Get out of here. Oh, sheesh. Can't wait to get a studio, guys. My buddy, Marcellus, he told me that Asuka was actually supposed to win. But Vince McMahon constantly going back and forth of, I'm the head of creative. I'm not the head of creative. I am the head of creative. Sorry. I'm gonna stick around. I'm sorry. He apparently changed a couple of these matches tonight. And so, yeah. Bianca won. I thought Bianca should have kept it because there was not any storyline that was worth a damn building up to any sort of passion behind it. I mean, Marcellus, he's always been a fan of Asuka, so, he personally probably would have thought it should have gone the other way. But when you have something that almost changes nothing, the belt shouldn't change, The storyline was weak. It was a perfect example, as I was interrupted by my cat, a perfect example of what happens when you try to book a face against a face. Now, I'm not saying that can't work. Heel versus heel, face versus face. It can work. Oh my goodness, cat. What did you do? You are kicked out of here. Get out of here, dude. Sorry. The audacity of these people. Anyways, booking good guy versus good guy or bad guy versus bad guy, very specific things need to happen for that to actually work. I'm trying to think of examples, but I really can't. But yeah, let's just say the way that they did it with Asuka and Bianca, they did it wrong. Something has to be more at stake. The stakes need to be higher. The tension needs to be tenser, With that said, even the Edge versus Finn Balor match, I feel like, there was bloodshed. There was actually legit bloodshed. Some they even haven't seen in a WWE match in a while. But even that, Edge won. I wanted to see Finn Balor win, actually. Finn Balor was a bad guy, but you can't put down the demon like that. Unless Edge is really planning on retiring after that, or at least here soon. But, the only thing I really, really was looking forward to was the Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes match in the IC title triple threat. When it came to the IC title triple threat, I'm really getting behind Gunther lately. I see what has recently happened, at least in the last 6 months. Things like the US title and the Intercontinental title, those matter now, especially when you have one guy hold the world titles and the main titles for almost 3 years now, they have to come off as significant. And they didn't until Austin Theory and Gunther. Gunther. He really, really, really didn't rub off on me until the Royal Rumble. He set the record, I think, for longest Royal Rumble participant. He was in there the longest time ever. And you can't really hold a candle up to that one. It was just, he has proved that he can do big matches. He has proved that he really is the ring general. He is awesome. He is great. He's intimidating. He is what he is supposed to be. And he's got a small faction, Imperium. I keep forgetting the names of those other dudes, but Kaiser, he is a doofus when he moves his lips in a certain way. Like, watch his freaking tongue and watch his freaking lips. He's got such a punchable face. Not gonna lie. But as for Gunther, he's awesome. But yeah, really congrats to the writers and storytellers and bookers and the Triple H's of the world for making the IC title and United States title matter again. Because we're in a time where it has to. So, yeah, with that said, a triple threat with Sheamus and Drew McIntyre certainly heightens the intensity, heightens the interest, and entertainment value of said mid-card title. It really, truly was awesome. There was an uncountable number of chops in that match to the chest. Not a single man left that match with a pale chest. Okay, every single one was beat red. Okay, but yeah, the right guy won. See, you got a real problem when I think the right guy won. The right gal or guy won every single one of these matches, but it wasn't interesting, or it just wasn't an insane match, or at least for WrestleMania standards. When it comes to what they're worth, okay, I'd say the Edge Finn Balor match was pretty good. The Roman Reigns Cody Rhodes match was as expected. Besides everybody, the majority of people thinking Cody Rhodes was going to win. I was not going to think, I did not think Cody Rhodes would win. But it was still hard to watch, you know. It was still very disappointing how it all happened, and then the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, it was equally not that great. But easily my favorite match out of here was the IC title triple threat match. It was great. It was long. It was fun. And yeah, the only other match that was equally as fun was the main event of Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Up until the very end, you know. It's not because there's a large population of people that think, oh, Cody Rhodes, he thinks he could just come back to the WWE and just get given the titles, right? Just be given the titles. But there's also a population of people that are like, we're super tired of Roman. Where else are we going to go after Cody Rhodes? And that's really the big question here. If Cody Rhodes loses at WrestleMania, what do we do now? Well, rematch has already been in the works. It's already in the air, right? There's a reason why it's called WrestleMania Backlash. Even though it shouldn't be called WrestleMania Backlash, it's still Backlash. So, the story is not finished, but it's also not put on hold. Cody Rhodes still is relevant in this story with Roman Reigns. But It's just not how we're going to expect it. Nobody really knows what's going to happen next. We just hope it's good, you know. So, you know, as said, I'm a big Seth Rollins fan. If Seth can get in the picture, you know, already a proven, very well-tuned foe, very well working with Cody Rhodes, you know, throw Seth Rollins in there, you're cooking with grease. Those three, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, you can set up really good booking in the championship scene for a while. With that said, pretty appropriate ratings from the professionals. I'd give it a 5 out of 5 for night 1 of WrestleMania. I'd give it a 2 out of 5 for night 2 of WrestleMania. With that said, really looking forward to the weeks to come. Yeah, and then we're all set. This has been Running and Defending. Signing off.